Coast Studios in Oklahoma City. You're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson here with Barry Trammell, and we're brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. If you go online to papajohns.com, you'll find all sorts of great pizza deals. You can use it for your watching football night, watching baseball night, all sorts of reasons to go to papajohns.com and check out those deals. Hey, We Pick 'em. We've got 5 games, and Barry, we're not messing with the NFL games this week. Not sure if it's because it's too hard or the college games are too good.
Too good at the SEC West. That's too many good matchups.
That's right. It's all SEC and our non-OU OSU games. Here we go. Let's start with that 11 o'clock Saturday game between Texas A&M and Mississippi State. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to take the Aggies, but this is a great game, this Jackie Sherrill Bowl, this Emory Ballard Bowl. These two schools those two guys coach both of these schools, and now they're conference mates. And lo and behold, both of them are unbeaten, and it's a showdown in Starkville. Now, Mississippi State had the great win at LSU. Texas A&M had the great comeback against Arkansas. Somebody's going to go home disappointed, but I'm going to take the Aggies to win it. I just think they got more good ball players. I think Mississippi State's doing a nice job building the program, but I like the Aggies. I think they're really solid under Kevin Sumlin.
Well, I'm going to go with Mississippi State, and what a lot of people think was probably an upset. Mississippi State, I think, is favored slightly at home, maybe a point and a half, somewhere in that vicinity. So not favored by much, but I'm going to go with Mississippi State. I liked what I saw against LSU, held off LSU, and I'm still not a believer in the A&M defense. I'm sorry, Aggies. Your offense is fantastic. Kenny Hill is spectacular, but that defense still leaves a lot to be desired out there. And Mississippi State may not be better offensively than Arkansas was, but I think that at home, I think they get the job done. But this is just the first of a bunch of good games. What about this one, Barry? Alabama goes to Ole Miss. That's the 2:30 game on Saturday. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to take Alabama big. I think everybody in the SEC West is good, but I think if somebody comes closest to fraud, I think it's Ole Miss. Ole Miss is of the 7 teams in the SEC West. Mississippi is the most untested. Their marquee victory so far, they beat Boise State in Atlanta. That was a tight game through 3 quarters. The Rebels broke away in the 4th quarter, but we found that Boise State is really not very good. They got smoked by Air Force last week. I think Alabama wins big in Oxford.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Alabama in this one as well. I don't really. Ole Miss, I think, is a top 15 team, and I'm not there yet. Maybe they'll get there. Maybe that's a spot that they deserve ultimately, but right now I just don't see it. I mean, I think that's probably an SEC reputation thing that's got them up to that point. Undefeated, obviously, get you far at this point in the year, but I just think Alabama's a lot better. I think they take care of business at Ole Miss. All right, Barry, the last of the SEC great games on Saturday is LSU at Auburn. Obviously, LSU already has a loss on their record. Will they take another? 6 o'clock Saturday. Who you got in this one?
I've got Auburn in this one. I think the Tigers have shown me something. Going to Manhattan and winning was not easy. Kansas State dominated a lot of aspects of that game, and Auburn found a way to win. So LSU a little struggling at quarterback. Got beat at home by Mississippi State. It's possible that the Tigers have dropped a little bit from their lofty standards of the Les Miles era. I'm going to take Auburn and Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, I'm going with Auburn in this one as well. And I think what you said about LSU is spot on. Earlier in the year in the preseason when LSU was having that quarterback battle, it didn't really look like anybody was standing out. I really felt like LSU might be on the fallback a little bit. Now, granted, they're falling back from a very high spot, and they're probably not falling as far as a lot of teams would, but I still didn't like what I was hearing about their quarterback situation, and it's borne out. I think they go to Auburn and take a loss, and I think Auburn winning on the road at K-State really opened my eyes. I know K-State missed all those field goals, but still, they were missed. Auburn played, won that game. That was a big win for them. All right, Barry, what about the early game on Saturday around here? Iowa State at Oklahoma State. That's an 11 o'clock start on Saturday. Who are you picking in this one?
Well, I got the Cowboys big. Iowa State is the little engine that could just, doesn't have a ton of talent and just tries and can be pesky at times. But the Cyclones just don't match up with the better teams in the Big 12. You can look at the quarterback position. Sam Richardson is Iowa State's quarterback. He threw maybe the worst pass I've ever seen in the history of football the other day. Threw a left-handed. He's getting wrapped up, throws the ball left-handed. Baylor intercepts. I think OSU's finding something with Dax Garman. I think the Cowboys win big.
Yeah, I'm going to go with OSU in this one as well. I don't know if I have them as big as you do, but I do like Oklahoma State to win pretty handily. Sort of like against Texas Tech, put a little separation, early and then maybe extend it a little bit. I just think Oklahoma State defensively has got the speed. Granted, they're thin, and we saw that some in that Tech game when you had to see some true freshmen come in the secondary. You don't want to see that much if you're an Oklahoma State fan, coach, or player, for crying out loud. But I think that they've still got some talent in those youthful spots where they might need to throw some guys in there. And obviously, offensively, I think Iowa State will come in with a decent defensive game plan. That's Paul Rhodes' mantra. He, really has pretty solid defenses. I just don't think they can keep up. I don't think they can keep up with the bombs away offense that OSU's shown. It's pretty impressive. All right, Barry, what about the 2:30 Saturday game? That's OU at TCU. Who you got in this one?
I'm taking the Horned Frogs in the upset.
Wow.
For this reason. TCU's just been so, not really very good 2 years in the Big 12. I think they're 6-18 through, they're 6 and whatever it would be, 12. 6-12 in the Big 12 through 2 seasons in the conference. But the Frogs are better this season. And look at the 2 OU TCU games that have been played. 24-17 down in Fort Worth 2 years ago. And then last year when TCU was not very good at all, it went 20-17, a tight fit all the way. This is in Fort Worth. This is TCU's chance to really make a national statement. The Horned Frogs play tough defense. It's the opposite of the West Virginia opponent in terms of Frogs play the tough D, not as great on offense. I think they'll give OU some trouble, and I'm picking the Frogs to win it at the end.
Well, I do think that TCU will give OU trouble, but I don't think they'll beat OU. I think OU wins on Saturday down in Fort Worth, and I do think it'll be a close game. I don't think there's any doubt about it. But to me, the thing that I keep going back to is that OU run game. It's the thing that they can lean on offense, even against these really good defenses. OU's offensive line has just got it's got a way of wearing people down. The size and the strength of those guys, I think there's starting to be some buzz about that. And then obviously Samaje Perine and Alex Ross is a good 1-2 combination, although more Alex Perine, please, because he doesn't seem to wear down. He seems to get stronger. So, yeah, I think it'll be a challenge for the offense, but I think that steady, as she goes aspect of the run game, I think it'll ultimately get them over the hump. And I think the OU defense, while TCU has changed offense, they've gone to the spread to really kind of try to handle what the Big 12 throws around. I still think the OU defense gets the job done against them. And then I think it's the OU run game that ultimately wins it for them. And be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.